3, 2, 1, and go. So first things first, we're going to change text speed to max. Pretty straightforward.
What's the story, man?
Oh, we'll get to that. Because I did talk about Death Dupe first. So first thing we're going to do in the game, we're going to try to do is called Death Dupe. We're going to take one spirit, which is essentially a rare candy for reference. We're going to turn it into a lot of spirits. To do that, we have to do a bunch of a goofy setup. It starts with the initiative glitch, which is something that has been known about since forever. Essentially, whenever Brian is moving in an area with encounters, you can get into an encounter if you're moving, obviously. But if you're moving and you open the spell menu, Brian doesn't stop moving right away. He actually slides. That slide is still considered movement, even though you have your spell menu open, so you can get an encounter with your spell menu already open. If you do, that's the initiative glitch. So, initiative glitch, we're going to grind our HP down to 1, preferably. Pretty straightforward. We're going to try to do the initiative glitch on top of a spirit, 3, pretty straightforward. And the fourth thing is we need to have an encounter that is faster than us. Now, there are 7 unique encounters that we can get in the area. For the beginning, 3 of them are going to be faster than us. 2 of them are hellhounds, a single hellhound or a double hellhound. They have 8 agility. They're always going to be faster than us for the sake of this. And then there's Parasalt and Bumbershoot, who have 6 agility. We start with 5. We'll have 5.5, 5.6 by the time we get over there. When we get 6, if you are tied, you are always faster than the enemy. So, Parasalt only does 1 damage or 2 damage, so we want 1 HP. Hellhound does 3 or 4 damage, so less than 3, preferably. That's Death Dupe. It turns 1 spirit into many, and I haven't mentioned how many because it's ridiculous. So if I were a task, we could take that 1 spirit and turn it into 96 spirits. Mind you, 98 spirits maxes 2 elements. You only have 4 elements. So you can nearly max 2 elements if you were a task at within 4 minutes of a run, which is a little broken. So, Canis mentioned the story. So the story is there a story? No, there's a story. The L-Tale book gets stolen from Melroad Monastery, where we started, the Crypts. And our dad, a great spirit tamer, it's the wizards or whatever in this game. Yeah, it gets stolen from the Crypts. I actually read the text for the first time in years. Yeah, an all-powerful book is stored in the Crypts. Who knew? I actually read the story for the first time in years. It gets stolen. Your father goes after it. Your father's a great spirit tamer. Your father's been gone a month in a world without technology or anything. You could argue that's a long time. And us, a 10-year-old boy, beg the Grand Abbot to go after our father. And the Grand Abbot's like, you shouldn't. Abbot, go ahead. And that's the story.
And you have a little thing on your head.
Yeah, you have an ahoge, which is a Japanese representation of being naive.
Really?
Yep, that's what it means, apparently. So Brian is an idiot. He's not an idiot, he's just naive. Alright, so Hellhound is perfect. We want to grind down to 1 HP, hopefully. So there's... we will almost certainly not get Death Dupe, but by God, I hope we do.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
I put my splits into splits.io or whatever that website is, and I looked at where I reset, and I've had my splits since I started running, and there wasn't many glitches in the time I started running, even including Death Dupe was like the last thing found. 98 or so % of my runs reset at Death Dupe, so suffice to say, not so good. Moving in a circle here just raises the chance of getting an encounter. The way encounter chance works is the more you walk, the higher the likeliness of getting an encounter is. So I'm going to shut up for a second, try to make sure I don't mess up. You can be out of the initiative glitch.
There's timing involved too.
Yeah. I didn't mention that. I forgot. I'm sorry. The second into the encounter, if we get the initiative glitch with the right encounter, I'm going to cast a spell. The enemy teleports across the arena. I step out of the arena and open the item menu, hopefully. I die. Once I hear the death audio, I use a healing item. The game goes, literally, what? And you get control while you're respawning, and that, for whatever reason, you have control and you can pick up the spirit as long as you started the encounter in a position where you could pick up the spirit. I forgot all of that. I'm sorry. I've had several dreams.
That was actually a really good explanation of Death Dupe, though. Like,
I
I'm
had a
gonna
little bit
come
of
back
practice.
to this for a reference at
I'm
some
going
point.
to do a quick aside while you're doing this on
Go
just
for it.
how the game works in general, in case people don't know. There's your typical school of elements: fire, water, wind, earth, and your level ups in this game, which are also gotten by these little bubble things you see with the question mark over his head. That lets you raise any one of the elemental schools you want to do. And
Yeah, essentially
generally,
rare candy.
water and earth are most important.
Earth is really the most important. Water is secondary, fire is tertiary, and wind is garbage. Unless it's the Game Boy version, and then wind is OP as fuck.
See, that was my problem as a kid. Is I'd always end up putting magic into wind, and then
I tried to balance them out. That was a mistake. If you play this game, do not balance your elements. You will have a bad time.
It doesn't really explain any of that to you either.
Oh no, it doesn't tell you anything. Good
Okay.
luck.
Yeah,
You get to
that's
find
the
out that your
biggest
dad
part.
ran away. That's all. So you just got the glitch right there, right? Because
That's the initiative glitch, but it's not the
Yep.
right enemy.
Right. So the weird part is like once the glitch starts happening, it's like the encounter happens and then right away he's got to like get hit in a certain way and then use an item at a certain time. It's not
Oh,
totally.
I'm faster than him.
him.
I pretty much want to die while having the item menu open, and the game just like, well, you use a healing item after you died, so clearly you have control of your character, and then just lets you mash.
Plus RNG.
Yeah, I mean, this is the way it goes, unfortunately. I would have reset by now. Normally, but no one wants to see the beginning of the game.
It's worth it because like it gets you like what would normally be Game Shark levels of strong. Like,
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So the first boss, the old route prior to Death Duke, was about 18 minutes into the game, and that was the reset point. You would have to hit him 10 times and hope that he misses and doesn't kill you. And you don't miss, for that matter. Now, between Agility Glitch, which I'll explain a little bit, and this, the boss dies in either 2 or 3 turns. So I have a FFZ emote called Solve a Wrecked, and it used to mean that he would destroy us. Now it means we destroy him, funnily enough. So we did like this encounter, but like I'm faster than them. I have 6.36 agility, so they don't matter anymore. Now we can only get Hecker Z's or Hellhounds. We'll do one more encounter, and then I'm just gonna load a save.
Aw, come on.
I could be here all night. I've had an 8-hour stream going for Death Dupe, and it didn't happen. Like,
yeah, I did this once and it was like an all day like thing. You can see it's like right at the start of the game. Like anybody who owns this game can turn it on and start trying to do this pretty fast. But like you got to get lucky and it's hard.
all right, we'll do one more encounter. That was quick. 11, 12.
No big mouth. Why?
Yeah, I mean, it's the way it goes. Pretty normal. And actually, while this is loading, I'm going to open up my... I'm going to get a command from my channel. If I don't get a Death Dupe, I'm going to link what a Death Dupe looks like so everyone can see it in its ridiculousness. Because it's worth seeing. Alright, well that's not... Whoops!
I think I have it right here.
Wow, look at that. We have 40 water and 30 earth. That was a really good Death Dupe. That's the one, Colin. So that's what a Death Dupe will look like. Unfortunately, it is incredibly pain in the butt to actually get, but that's what it is. So we're going to try to do something called the Agility glitch here. If we are faster than the encounter that we get into, we can skip our turn before the game fully loads the encounter, and so the game thinks you moved from whatever your previous coordinates are, your current coordinates, and it will give you agility based on how far those coordinates are. So we got the correct encounter, which is it was either a Hellhound, which is faster than us, or a Werehair, which is slower than us. And thankfully, we got the Werehair. So we now have just under 8 agility, which is what we want. We wanted 8 agility, really, but just under is okay. So these guys are faster than us. I can't do the agility glitch. But that's okay. Really, I'm not out of the encounter. Thanks. So I'm casting Soul Searcher 2 here because I need to get to 21 MP, and the way to grind MP in this game is for spells to hit. And there are spells that hit multiple times, and like that kind of stuff. We used to use a spell called Rock Shower because it would hit all enemies and it would kill them, and we get experience. But the getting experience leveling up is just a waste of time. What with Death Dupe, so we're plenty strong. So now I'm using a spell called Soul Searcher 2 for 2 reasons. One, it doesn't lag, and 2, if Rock Shower missed, I wouldn't get experience. So let's say there's 5 enemies and Rock Shower misses 2 of them, I'd only get experience for 3 of those hits. Whereas Soul Searcher, I will always get the experience for every enemy in the encounter due to the way the game handles spells that are buffs or debuffs. So Soul Searcher 2 is like a debuff spell. It's if it lands, you get the stats of an enemy when it takes its turn. So it's a nice thing if you don't know anything about the enemies. But because it's a debuff spell, it has 2. It only has 1 RNG check. So normal spells have an RNG check whether they hit or miss, and they apply damage. Well, debuffs or buffs always hit, but then they have a secondary check whether the effect hits or miss. Well, I don't care about the effect. I just want the spell to land. So it gives me experience because it always lands, which is super convenient. We're always going to be casting that whenever we can. We have an hour or so before I want to have 21 MP. And I'm doing the agility glitch this whole time. I'm up to 12 now. I would normally have 6, maybe 7. If we were lucky. Probably a little over 6 at this point. Alright. So 14 agility going into Counter Fortress. The fastest enemy here is 16 is a kobold. Hopefully we don't see a kobold, but of course this is Quest, and Quest can eat my ass, and it will. It will be a kobold. Alright, so that's the old cloning glitch, the exit return cloning. So Death Dupe, you can get 96. Exit return cloning, you can get 6. Because the route used to be based on this, but it's still used, but not as much. Okay, so this is one of the encounters I was speaking of. I actually will kill this encounter just for the off chance for an item they can drop. So that was a lot of misses, which is what we don't want. I'm going to use Rock Shower again, because I think that's 3 enemies left alive.
What is it? Pinhead Insurance?
No. Alright, didn't get it. That was a 4 barely. The item they drop is Celine's Bell. It essentially keeps an enemy from moving or casting a spell. The use of that is for an out of bounds in East Limeland. It makes it a lot easier to set up. It's just a convenience thing. It's not necessary, it just makes the life a lot easier. So something we do want to see, because this is a marathon run, I am going to grind defense, unfortunately. That's going to waste probably about 8 minutes of all our lives that we can't get back, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry right now. Oh, cool.
Yo, I'm playing RuneScape.
We can do it here. So we're going to grind defense until I have about 63, and I'm sorry, guys. If you need to go get a drink or go take a nap or something, now is that time. So the reason we don't grind it because it wastes time in a normal any % run, but because this is a marathon run, there is an enemy late in the game that will one-shot us if we get into that encounter, and it's literally the last area of the game. It's faster than us. If it hits us, we die, and the run is super, super duper over. We're gonna grind defense so that it can't kill us. It sucks. Just the way it goes though nowadays. I'm gonna kill one of these guys because it's taking too long. Nice. There we go. Also, killing one of them makes this fight go a little faster. It's not lagging as much either. Something I should note, the way HP and defense go up is the amount of hits you take. You can also get HP from using your staff on enemies, but it's not the amount of damage you take, but the amount of hits. Something else in this is that your stats, in particular your defense or agility, while they can go up in an encounter, the game doesn't check if they've gone up in an encounter unless you use a spell or an item that actually affects that particular stat. So in this case, I've used a defense up, and after I'm done with that defense up, he'll still be doing 1 or 2 damage because that's the defense we got at 54 HP puts us at a point where he does that much damage instead. He was doing 3 to 2 to start the encounter, and he would have continued to do that if we hadn't used it up. So unfortunately, we're going to be here a long time, and I'm sorry. The good news is he does so little damage, we don't have to heal every single turn. And hopefully he doesn't miss. Anyone got any questions? Concerns? Stories to tell? How about you, chat? When did you guys rent this game from Blockbuster?
Well, I recently rebought this game.
Oh, that's nice. I'm surprised there's any more copies that exist because I bought all of them.
I think I had to outbid somebody for it, so it probably was you.
Me. Yo, nice, Hito. Spicy chicken sandwich sounds tasty. Oh, dear.
So, how do you feel about the Japanese version?
The Japanese version is so much better than this. It's the Japanese version. They changed the. Thank you for reminding me. I always forget to talk about it. The Japanese version. They made a lot of changes to the game. They made the game significantly easier all around. Now, in a casual playthrough, if I were to choose between the two, I would absolutely choose the JP version because it's just so much better. The downside to that, however, is that they broke 2 glitches, or fixed, I guess, as a normal person would say. They fixed cloning, and they fixed the agility glitch, kind of. So you can't do the US version where you skip your turn before the beginning of the encounter to do the agility glitch. You can still do it through the initiative glitch, because they didn't fix that. So can't do the agility glitch, which is kind of unfortunate. Would be nice if you could, but it's not the end of the world. The cloning, on the other hand, they absolutely just... They kind of put a band-aid on it and destroyed it forever. So if anyone wants to hack a game, I will pay them several $100s to do that. But what they did is they forced an animation every time you pick up a spirit. So in the US version, picking up the spirit is 1 frame, placing the spirit is 1 frame. And I'm done the grind for now, thank Christ. So you can just sit there, frame, mash, get a lot of spirits. So tasks for US is 96 for Death Dupe. Task for JP for Death Dupe is maybe 17. A little bit of a drop off. So exit return cloning, the max in US is 6, max in JP is 2. There is a forced animation that every time you pick up a spirit, you watch for a bit and you can't skip it or anything. It sucks. And it makes just everything else about the JP version is just so much better. Your stats go faster. Bosses give you MP and HP, so you don't need to worry about the MP grind. They nerfed bosses, like they buffed some stuff. Like, so when you get 50 of an element, they actually buffed spells that any spells with I feel like an idiot. I'm blanking on the word. Any of the spells that like shoot things with projectiles. That's the word. So
With
Avalanche,
dicks.
yeah, with dicks. In the before 50, Avalanche and the JP version, just like the US version, has a max of you can hit 7 hits. While in the JP version, when you get to 50 Earth, Avalanche drops more rocks, so you can hit enemies 10 times instead, which is crazy. Free shoots, I think 7 normally. It can shoot 9 if wind is up to 50. So it's like little stuff like that. I don't know everything that they buffed, but it's interesting things, and like buffs last longer. So like in this version, magic barrier, obviously the first turn and then the second turn, and then sometimes you can get a third turn. It's like a 30-40% chance. JP, it's like an 80% chance for that turn. So it's silly. All right, 35. We're almost done the agility grind, which is convenient as well. And something else, they nerfed some bosses like HP. Solvering hits less hard. He takes more damage. No, he takes the same amount of damage, really. He just hits less hard. They nerfed Guilty and Mammon. Instead of having no element and taking half damage from all spells, they're a neutral element where they take full damage from all spells, but they have no weaknesses. So they're easier. Mammon is still just a friggin' joke, but Guilty is less of a pain in the butt. Alright. 39, 41, 43, 45. Alright. Almost done with this garbage. And we're gonna go Dad Dick Solvering. Hopefully I'll remember to do the other defense grind. I will need to do another defense grind. Unfortunately. That one will be a lot faster. I could just do one defense grind at the other area that's faster, but doing this bit of a defense grind here just makes that one safer, and this is a marathon, so it's not that big a deal. It probably would save like a minute, maybe. And I could die if I just get unlucky. So I'd rather not do that. Especially in a game where self-buffs can miss. Every spell I cast on myself except heal can miss. Ain't that great. Alright. 5 will be good here. Alright. On to the Solvering. Oh. That's some tasty drink. Oh, didn't get the victory. There is a glitch that I will... Oh, cool. Celine's Bell. Convenient. Actually, it wasn't tasty water. It's tasty alcohol. There's a glitch that I'm only going to try to do if I kill enemies. And like I did there, it's called the Victory Animation Cancel. There's a couple frame window as an encounter ends where you can start to cast a spell. And if you cast heal fast enough, it is significantly faster than watching Brian's victory animation. The side effect of it is the audio, the music in the area doesn't load in, so it's just eerily quiet, and you start moving and you can hear Brian's footsteps and nothing else. It's actually kind of creepy. It's pretty cool too. This is drink. I haven't had a drink in I've been drinking this one slowly. I did have several drinks earlier, but not now. Alright. So the reason I got the amount of agility I did with the agility glitch is we're going to... there's a particular route. I want a certain amount of agilities at certain spots, because I'm going to go out of bounds based on that agility. And I have probably 1 to 2 more agility than I normally would here. I want to get to 48 barely going in here, and I have almost 50. 49, 50%, yeah. Alright. Into the Solver Ring. As I mentioned before, this guy is an absolute butthead normally. But in this, oh man. He's just going to get absolutely destroyed. Alright, we're going to go for the 2-shot here. Boom. He has like 2 HP. Oh, he quite literally had 2 HP, actually. 69 and 129. So yeah, that's solving. Alright, we're doing agility glitch here. We're gonna clone that spirit that I skipped before for extra spirits. And please encounter. A lot of the RNG in this run is just getting good encounters. That's unfortunate. There's only so much execution I can do correctly when the game just decides, nah, I don't feel like it. That's the way it goes. Alright, and now we're gonna do our walk. And we're walking. And we're walking. I'm always going to try to turn the camera away from encounters when I cast escape. It's going to keep the game from lagging. Yay, lag strats. Alright, so we want some amount of encounters. We want the encounters we get into to actually have more enemies so that Soul Searcher hits more enemies and get more experience for MP. You know, pretty straightforward. We don't want to have too many encounters, but the game is either too many or too little, and pretty much no in between. Alright, so when we get into Call Hazard, I do need to do a bit of a defense grind, but I only need to get to 81 or 82. That one will be significantly shorter than the other grind that we just did. Oh, and we'll be doing the first Out of Bounds. You heard that correctly. Surprise, surprise, an N64 game isn't programmed perfectly and we can go out of bounds. Who knew? So how's everyone's Friday going? Good, I hope. Dick sounds like a pretty good Friday. Very tired. Yeah, you were up for a bajillion hours. My Friday is good. I actually, I got promoted at work, so yeah, pretty good day. TBH. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Now I'm a manager. Yeah. I don't know how to feel about that. Alright, so onto the boat, onto West Carmel. And hopefully not a million encounters. Really, there's not a whole lot to talk about unless we're doing specific things. I'm pretty much going to be agility glitching and walking and going there and there. So we're going to go to West Carmel, we're going to go to Larpool, grab Blue Wings, make our way down to Call Hazard, do a little bit of a defense grind, and then go out of bounds. So the whole thing with out of bounds, I mean, it's not super necessary, but it's very convenient. So if you're out of bounds, you can't get encounters unless you're very close to the paths. So imagine the paths are just a line, and someone used like the spray tool from Paint about the same, so just slightly larger than the line they drew, or the width of the line. And that's how encounters are. I'd have to basically be on the path to get an encounter. So we can just not deal with encounters. It's not super great for Call Hazard. It does save time. It's worth it just because of the amount of encounters in the scheme of things. Oh, yeah. And I didn't need to save here. Habit to save here. Normally we would do a death warp here. but we're not going to do that because marathon luck. If I do that, we're going to have a bad time because I'll probably end up dying to Nepti because that's just the way this game is. All right. I'm always going to try to take as many hits as I can from enemies. Just every little bit of HP and defense is muy bueno. But the out of bounds, it's okay for call hazard just because you're not going to deal with any of the encounters and whatever. But like Blue Cave is beautiful. Boil Hole and Barragoon Tunnel, those out of bounds, those are also amazing. Partially because we can skip the boss. We can skip Fargo and we can skip Shelf. Speaking of which, I know it's not a donation incentive, but if somebody wants to donate $20, I will fight Fargo and I will fight Shelf. Otherwise, I will skip them. They're both actually mildly amusing fights. Those are the blue wings. We do need to come back here, but we don't. It's just going to be faster to grab them now instead of like go do Zealous and then come back here. We'll kill Zealous and then just use the blue wings to be immediately back here. It's beautiful. And if anyone has any questions about why I'm an idiot or why I play this game or I don't know, anything, AMA, really. Oh, dang. I guess I should say then, AMA is Ask Me Anything. Are we talking like grilled chicken or chicken tenders? And what kind of beer? It's relevant. I'm gonna assume fried chicken probably. Some average gas station. So are we talking like Natty Light, Keystone, or are we talking like Yingling, slightly above the cheap beers?
Heineken.
Heineken. All right, so I'm gonna assume like Heineken level, like not the cheapest of the cheap beers, but like half a step up or so. And fried chicken, yeah, I would say fried chicken does taste good with beer for sure. Especially like I'm not talking like Natty Light or like the party Keystone, like garbage, like half a step up for that, for sure. Yeah, I would think so. Alright, so this is gonna be the defense grind. Absolutely. So that's 44. Sorry, it starts with 3 numbers. It's 432. 27. What's it? 324. 27, 27. So it's 432, 27, 27, 27. It's totally my social security number. First name Bing, last name Quest64. Sorry, middle name's Chang, actually. Yeah, close enough. Yeah, exactly. As you can see, this defense grind goes significantly faster. Just a lot faster. And that should make us safe for pretty much the rest of the run. We'll probably be, depending on how much we get hit in general, we still might be able to die, but it would be a high roll kind of death where so Pinhead uses Fireball 3 and each of those individual fireballs would have to roll like close to max damage on each one, which is very, very unlikely. But of course, now that I've said that, it's going to happen because that's the way this game is. And we're coming up on the first out of bounds. So there's two different ways to go out of bounds. We're going to use the easier one here. It's called the Battle Arena Clip. What we're going to do is we're going to take our movement arena, make a very, very, very acute angle, and we're going to walk into that angle. Not run like this, like walk, like actually Brian's animation of walking. So the game doesn't handle that really well, and you get pushed out of bounds. It's super convenient and very, very easy to do. So we're going to do that. Okay. So we can't set up for that one. Get some chicken tenders and maybe a beer. I hear it's quite good. We're gonna try to set up right about here. We need another encounter in this area. Cool, that's a good encounter. We want to be right. I have visual cues. We'll be right about here. We can create a tight corner. That might actually not work. I'm not actually used to having 15-minute agility. So we're gonna be second turn. That was bad. That'll work. No, that won't work. That's too tight. Ugh. I'm out of practice, guys. There we go. That'll work. So walk into the corner. Poof, get pushed out of bounds. I'm totally good at this game, I swear. It's a mixture. Oh, I go to bed. If you want to watch this later, you can always come back to it. I'm sure it'll be highlighted. Nah, you're fine. Alright. So yeah, we're just walking around this area. We're on the lower side of a J, essentially. We're walking around the outside of that J. Poof, we're out of bounds. So we're going to fight Zealous, we're going to go into Larapole, and we're going to go into Blue Cave. We're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to go out of bounds with a similar type thing on a similar corner. at the very beginning of Blue Cave. When we're walking to the very end of Blue Cave, we're going to completely skip Blue Cave. That area sucks. That skip saves so much time. It's ridiculous. It makes Blue Cave about almost 2 minutes and 15 to 30 seconds long, instead of like 10 minutes. It's a little good there. All right, and out of bounds. Although we're out of bounds in Matcha right now, Compass is really your best friend. It helps if you know the layout of the areas, which I happen to do. I've spent a little time with this game. But we're going to grab a huge agility glitch here. Get us about 3 levels. Very, very nice. Right over here. Boink. And boom, we have like 62 agility. Yep, 62. Beautiful. Another thing about out of bounds I always forget to mention, it's kind of important. If you're out of bounds, you can't get back in bounds unless you die to an encounter, cast exit or return, assuming you can cast it, or hit a cave exit or cave entrance. For whatever reason, a cave exit, cave entrance, the hitbox of them kind of goes over the path just a little bit, enough for us to clip it. So we're going to do that here. We're going to hit this. If it was a door, we wouldn't be able to do that. So thankfully, we can just get back in bounds by touching that that trigger. Very nice. I'm not actually going to save here, because if we die, we can just warp back here. Alright, we're going to do 1 clone here, right at the beginning. Get the fire. That was a nice 4. Alright. Do 1 agility glitch at the very beginning, then we're going to go talk to Zels. Zels is a rude dude. He has 3 attacks, a long range, a short range, and a mid range. You want the mid range. Because if the mid range is like a horizontal attack along a certain path, and if he does that, we can move forward or backwards and dodge it every single time. His long range is a multi-hit attack, which you can't really dodge, and his short range is short range, where you can't dodge it. So mid range is the goal here. Hopefully, we'll kill him with 1 turn and not see most of that. But as this is quest and I am playing it, it's going to just decide that, nah, we need to see everything. I should mention, I've been running this since 2015, and I have some of the worst luck. That's pretty impressive. But I guess I also have the biggest sample size. Alright, here's Zels. He's kind of whatever. We're going to use Magic Barrier first turn. And then we're going to let him walk up. He's going to use his long range. Always the same. Hopefully I'll kill him with this cast. Can happen. 1, 2... Oh, no. Alright. So it would have taken 3 hits. So that's his mid-range. That's what we want to see. I don't have to dodge it because I have Magic Barrier up. Of course, Avalanche can do that. So now the RNG is Avalanche actually dropping rocks on the boss. Alright, he has 1 more hit, he'll be dead. He's going to do his mid-range again, thanks. We're going to throw a rock at him, and he's dead. No, he's not dead. He has like 1 HP. So I'm going to staff him. I'm going to go for the swag kill. Cool, got him. He has 680 HP, we're doing a lot. Oh, nice 5. Alright. Alright, so Lara Pool. Probably my favorite kind of little thing in the game. It's coming up in a second. So Lara Pool, we have to lower the water. We can only do that after getting the wind activated by beating Zells. But we have to go talk to Layla. Layla is supposed to lower the water. As it turns out, the trigger to lower the water actually isn't talking to her. It's opening this door. So this door is it flushes Lara Pool. So Lara Pool, as it turns out, is actually a giant toilet. Ain't that just great? I think it's hilarious, personally. Gotta love flushing the entire area by just opening a door. Alright, so we're gonna go out of bounds again. I have 66 agility, which is exactly what I want. There's a triangle of certain dots right here, here, and over here. I'm gonna stand in a particular spot, use that encounter, and go out of bounds right on that path over there. So we're gonna try to set that up. So it's these three, those, I'm gonna stand right about here. I think that's it. I don't really need to use magic barrier, just thing I like to do. Alright, that's not good enough. We need to, there we go. That should do. Alright, that'll do it. Cool. Clipped, out of bounds. That was very easy. So for all of these things, we actually have to clip from a path to a path. Everyone except the last one, we walk at the wall. The last one, we walk along the wall. And now we're out of bounds, and now we're going to skip Blue Cave. Blue Cave is dark and blue, and there's not much going on. I apologize. This is probably going to be about 2 minutes of walking, so if you need to go to the bathroom, need to get a drink, need to take a nap, now's a good time, again. The out of bounds we used to use a spell called Compression. I am going to use that for an out of bounds later, but we used to use Compression. What Compression does is it weakens the enemy, it lowers their attack, but it also shrinks the enemy's actual physical model, which is useful because if you stand between that model and certain walls, you can get pushed out of bounds when they go back to normal size. That's how we used to do all the out of bounds. So at the beginning of this area, there's an enemy called the Scorpion, is who we would use for this out of bounds. So with some enemies, you can just kind of stand generally in front of them. And like, imagine from if you're looking at from your face to a wall and you're using your nose as like a vertex point, it's probably like from the left to the right across your face. For some enemies, it's like a 45-degree angle, kind of centered on your nose going outwards, to stand in front of them, between them and a wall, to be pushed out of bounds. Depending on the enemy, it's bigger or smaller. Scorpions, it's like a 2-degree angle. It's freaking miserable. They were terrible, terrible, terrible. Their AI sucks. The hitbox for going out of bounds was garbage. It was super terrible. Now we just do that and it's super duper easy. But yeah, that used to suck. We used to do that in Call Hazard. We would use Wyverns. They're gigantic. Their AI is super manipulatable. They're super easy. Thank you for the luck, Des. Enjoy your sleep. You've earned it. This we would use Scorpions, which are garbage. And then in Boil Hole, which we're gonna have to do this again because of the agility route, we use Magmafish, whose AI is actually incredibly consistent. If you're too far, they move closer and use defense up. If you're close enough, they just attack. They're not that bad. As long as their position's somewhat okay. They're pretty easy. Like the range to stand in front of them is whatever. So here's the end of Blue Cave. And I'm going to do a big old agility glitch right about here. Hopefully, maybe. There we go. Let's just put it at 71. And as some of you are familiar with South Park, there's an enemy in this next area that has 75 agility. We don't want to see it. It's a Grangok, or quite literally, a fish on a stick. We don't like fish sticks. No fish sticks in or around my mouth. So in a normal run, if we get them, it loses us like a minute and a half of time because we have to do extra agility grinding that we wouldn't have to do. So we really don't want to see them. Alright, so we wouldn't save here normally. We would use that last save point and we would death warp after this, but we're not going to do that. Because marathon safety, Nepti can absolutely just destroy us if she wants to. She has the smallest hitbox of all the bosses. She's just generally garbage. So no fish sticks, please. No fish sticks, no fish sticks, no fish sticks. We'll probably get 3 of them or something. The game is just rude. Or we won't get any encounter. I will take the time to get an encounter because it's worth it. And a fish stick. They're called Grangox. They suck. So we lose a bit of time to have to get some extra agility. It's not the end of the world, but it sucks. That's the way it goes. Yo, Zyphus, how's it going, my dude? Alright, here's Nepti. In a little bit, after we walk this unnecessary path at a boss area where no encounters except her, because reasons. She, like every other boss, stole a gem, and we're going to kill her and take it back, and they're going to tell us to keep it. But, like Star Wars, we're going to have the high ground. I'm going to do my best impression of Obi-Wan Kenobi and absolutely obliterate her, but, of course, we're only going to hit her once. That's right, Nepti. I have the high ground. Don't even try. Ugh, I'm a little too far away. Please! Oh, this is bad. Oh, of course she walks. I hate this boss. As you can see, this boss goes very well. If I time my button presses right, you can start to cast a spell while she's in the middle of doing that one, which is... Because I have extra healing items, because of the save I had created for the beginning of this. I'll use one there. Four, I think. Oh, nice. Nice, game, thanks. Please don't... Oh, we're gonna go for it, because, please, thanks. Good news is that doesn't kill me. The bad news is I don't have much HP. Alright, she should be dead. Sweet baby Jesus, that was a terrible fight. As you can see, everything can just go right to dicks very quickly. But yeah, that's Nepti. You can kill her in one turn, or you can take 18 years to kill her like that. Alright, now we're going to do a double dip for agility, since we don't have what we want. The important thing is that Nepti died, really. That's really what matters. It wasn't a great fight, but it's a marathon. As long as she dies and I don't, that's what matters. I'll take an extra minute of that fight instead of having to restart and do the fight from scratch. Oh, one thing you'll notice, I might as well talk about it now, since I have literally nothing else to talk about. I really do, but I can't think of stuff. There's a reason that we're leveling up the water and fire after Earth, and it's the way that the elements affect each other. So obviously we want Earth levels because of Avalanche being our damage spell. But, as it turns out, all the elements kind of affect each other in terms of levels. So Earth is our main element, fire and water are adjacent to that, and then wind is opposite. So as it turns out, the adjacent spirits, or elements, I guess, every 8th level of that either element, so 8 of water, 8 of fire, is like an additional level of Earth. So I'm actually going to take water up to 48. I'm also going to take fire up to 48 and stop there. 49 or 50 doesn't give us anything additional for Earth. For wind, it's every 16 since it's the opposite. So it will probably get to wind, but we're not going to get to 16 that's what we would do. We would just take wind up after that. It's convenient that we actually want fire and water anyway, so it plays out quite nicely. I stopped at 40 water because whatever, and we only really need 19 fire, but we're just going to pick up stuff along the way that's not egregiously out of the way to get. We're going to grab one more encounter. Ooh. Alright, one more encounter. Cool. So the intended way to go back is actually to go in this circle, which is very obvious. It's not obvious at all. Slightly. Alright. So we're going to do agility glitch on the first encounter here. We're going to have like 88, 89 or whatever. Some stupid amount of agility. The goal is really to get to 95 agility. But that'll take us a couple more. We're going to stop agility glitching like every encounter at this point. We're just going to do major ones now. Alright. I was taking a drink, so I didn't cast Soul Searcher. So the normal route, we would respawn in that little cottage right here. Save us this bit of a walk. Alright, hopefully the first encounter we get is a singular scarecrow up against the wall. If we do, that's going to be the out of bounds we're going to try to do. Hopefully we'll get that, but no guarantees, of course, because this game is Quest, and Quest just can decide, yeah, I don't feel like it. So this does have a scarecrow, but as you notice, none of those, the boundaries for the encounter don't touch the wall, so we're not going to be able to use this. That's okay. We're still going to go for it because we can use wyverns a little bit later. It's just not going to save us much time, if at all. It's still cool to see in the scheme of things. Hey, look, a singular fishman who is very slow and lags. Even with one, the game lags with these guys. They are just garbo. Oh, please let me out. It's the way it goes, but that's not a big deal in the scheme of things. Entirely expected, honestly. It's nice when it doesn't happen, but this is normal. All things considered. Their MP's looking alright. Almost 20. So bueno. We'll probably get a wyvern in a moment. I wish their AI would... Oh no, he actually did. I thought he was... Sometimes even though they're far away, they'll still attack, but their attack is like a close range attack. Sometimes their AI is just dumb and will attack anyway. So we'll probably get a wyvern. Or a scarecrow. Are you serious? I didn't know you could get a scarecrow this far out. I'm not going to do this because it takes 8 years to set it up with these guys. I would do it at the beginning because you generally get them close to the wall. As you see, he walks quite slowly. And I'd rather just... If we get a wyvern, it'll take not any time at all to set it up. We probably won't even get a wyvern at this point. Yo, we got a wyvern. And we're not close to a wall. This game is just rude. Alright, right, one more chance. Wyvern, do it. Do it, game. We'll do it. We'll do it. We're gonna do it. It's not worth it. We're gonna do it. There we go. That's what I want to do. That should work, actually. There we go. Cool. Out of bounds. So they're huge. Easy to do. I wish they were at the beginning of the area. Unfortunately, they're not. But that's the out of bounds. So, as some of you might remember from this game, the entrance to Beargoon Tunnel is actually a door. So this out of bounds was worthless for a long time, and is a reason we didn't do it. But as it turns out, I discovered by accident one day that you can clip back inbounds very, very conveniently right in front of the door. So this path right here, we literally walk into and clip back inbounds. And it's right at the front door to Beargoon Tunnel. It is supremely convenient that that exists. So that out of bounds went from being worthless to just kind of a neat trick to be like, oh, this actually saves time. So if you get that out of bounds from like the first encounter at the very beginning, you can save like a minute and change, especially if the out of bounds, like the encounter plays nice. That's super nice. All right, will-o-wisps are scary. They hit like trucks. Not so much now because we did a bit of a defense grind, but they used to be the very, very scary enemies in the old route before any kind of agility glitching or anything. Nowadays, they're whatever. If we didn't do any defense grind, they would be doing half. They would be doing just under half of our HP with one of the two fireballs. They still hit really hard. Alright, so nothing special here. We're going to do one of the original out of bounds with the, not the Battle Arena clip, but an actual corner that inspired the Battle Arena clip. So the corner that inspired all the out of bounds that wasn't compression out of bounds is in Bogus's room, or Bij's. But this is the out of bounds that we can actually use in the run. It's a corner that exists in the game that we don't have to create, that we can walk into and go out of bounds. The one in Bigus's room, the left column, if you go on the back side of it and walk into the corner that it has back there, you can clip out of bounds in his room. If Bogus is dead, you soft lock the game. You cannot get out of that room. If Bogus isn't dead, you can die to him and reset. But yeah, don't do that in that room. You'll have a bad time. But as it turns out, in this area, this path, just after we get out of this little pathway, we turn into this left corner. There's a really tight corner that we can walk into and just go out of bounds. It's incredibly, incredibly convenient. So this corner right here, just walk into it, and poof, we're out of bounds. So, as some people might recall, there's a boss named Shelf at the end of this area. I will be skipping Shelf entirely. Yeah, this is so great. It saves a huge amount of time not having to fight Shelf. Shelf's not bad, honestly. She's kind of a joke in reality, but this is nice. As I mentioned earlier, if someone sneaks in with like a $20 dono, I'll actually fight Shelf and Fargo, but otherwise we're going to skip both of them entirely. Alright, I saw that path down there, and I'm going to run east. So we could run to the end of the area, but it's really, really hard to see. I'm going to do a particular pathing using walls and stuff to drop down a height so that I can see the rest of the area. So I'm going to walk into a wall going eastward. The camera's going to zoom into Brian's back. In a moment, like that. And I'm going to use Brian's dust cloud when he starts running, just like this, until it lets me go east, like that. And then I'm going to turn east, 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 and then southeast, and it's going to run along the wall. It's going to turn me eastward, and then 4, 3, 2, 1, drop. And we're gonna drop down to a height where we can see the rest of the area. It's very, very convenient. It actually was real. That was not bad. I had a run the other day where I counted down from 5 and got it perfect. Usually I count down from 3 or 4. Yep, and we're just gonna back at encounters and skip everything. Yeah, spirit is nice to grab. We're generally not gonna go out our way to grab extra spirits, but if they're just along the path and take a fraction of a second to grab, we'll grab them. Every little bit counts, you know? Oh, man. Alright, we're gonna grab an encounter here for an agility glitch. And then we're going to just walk by Shelf. He's gonna be standing in space and just waiting for us, and we're gonna be like, nah fam, that ain't me. Ain't about that life. You don't, nothing you drop, she doesn't drop anything. Nothing she does, killing her doesn't do anything. There's no triggers, there's nothing, she's just in the path. We can just walk around her. So that exists. She should be right about there. Hey there, hi Shelf, bye Shelf. So a fun thing for her is if you walk in from the backside of it, she'll still face the camera like normal and talk at you, but Brian's just standing behind her holding the staff like, I'm over here, hey. And it's kind of funny to see. Fargo, on the other hand, you actually fight, if we were to fight him, we fight him from out of bounds and just stand in a spot where he can't actually hit us. He gets really close and uses close range attack, which is like a bubble attack around him, and just laugh at him while he misses constantly. So because of the agility glitching route that we are on, we should be faster than them. They have 85, I think. No, they have 95. Yeah, they have 95. They're not the reason we want 95, but it's convenient that we do because we're faster than them. Get some more agility. We're at 98 now. Normally we get to about 100. We might get a bit more than that, depending on encounters we get in areas. They're the fastest enemy in this area. The next one's like 93, which actually might be those guys. They're 92 or 93. I don't remember offhand. So we could theoretically go out of bounds in this area. I don't know if it's worth it. It might be. You would have to get it very quickly. But usually the MP routing makes it like it's better just walk through this area because a lot of these encounters tend to have a lot of enemies. Sometimes you can get unlucky and get like 1s and 2s, but most encounters can have up to 6, and you see 4s fairly often, and we would like to see those. Now it's not as much a big deal because obviously Marathon Run, we're going to take the time to grind it, but like a PB run or a record attempt or whatever, we want to see like this encounter. I mean, we don't want to see this many encounters, but we want to see these encounters. I've begun skipping this item. It is a replica. It's an instant escape item if you use it in an encounter. If we could get this before the first death dupe in the game, death dupe would be incredibly consistent and very easy. Because replica is kind of a similar thing. If you die and then use a replica, it's the same kind of idea as dying, healing, and getting out of the encounter. Unfortunately, you can't get the first replica until after you beat the first boss. It's incredibly unfortunate that that's a thing. That's just the way it goes. If we could have that, it would save so much time. Seriously, it'd be ridiculous how much time. And like how often you would get into runs, and it would guarantee like a good dupe amount. So like sometimes you can get out of the encounter immediately and have like a full 8 seconds of time to just mash. But if you're unlucky, and you don't like get out immediately, you lose part of that time. And with replica, like it guarantees that 8 seconds every single time. Alright, so this first encounter, we do not want Rockies. They are slow, they are garbage. We want a magma fish. At least one in the encounter. Cool, that's what we want to see. I did agility glitch here. Ooh, that was lucky. Actually, I'm gonna walk in here. Oh, cool. That was convenient. So these guys' AI are pretty consistent, so we're just gonna take advantage of that. Okay, cool. And now we're gonna work our way into here by pushing away from the wall, and then we're gonna use magic barrier so we don't die, and hopefully he'll go back to normal size in a moment. We did defense grind, and boom, we are out of bounds again. So they're a lot easier to go out of bounds on. Their AI is super consistent. You just have to get them close to the wall. So again, another area where it's just darkness. I'm sorry, it's unfortunate the side effect of the out of bounds, although it saves a huge amount of time. It's not terribly interesting to watch. The out of bounds itself is cool. Once you're out of bounds, it's like, well, I'm running to the end of the area. See you in however many minutes. There's a particular spot that I know how much time we need. Yeah, I agree. It's better than RNG, but it's not interesting to watch. So 1:14 from now. So 1:14 we will get into an encounter. Plus or minus a second. Generally, it's 1:14 though. I didn't see what time it was on the marathon, so I don't know, but we'll see. I'm going to assume I'm right because, well, I'm right. Yeah, the guilty fight's gonna go straight to crap. I had the best guilty fight I've had ever yesterday. 43? Alright, so it should be 57. 12:57 then. Which we should be close to, I think. Okay. It was a Rocky, but I'm gonna do the agility glitch anyway. It was... Oops. Well, that's unfortunate. I should have just used a replica. These guys, look, if you notice how slow they are, these enemies are crap. They also hit really hard, but that's besides the point. I just want the agility. I don't really care about the time loss right now. Every little extra bit of agility is going to help. That's okay. Those guys make the encounter last forever. Sucks. Hey, look, Fargo. There he is. Hi, little guy. We're just gonna not fight you. There's a way we can get over one of those like little volcano things, and he'll fight us, and then run over to us and just stand too low, and he can't hit us with his close range, and we just drop rocks on him and laugh at him. Pretty funny. Makes for an amusing and very safe boss fight. But instead, we're just going to walk by him. Bye, Fargo. He does drop an item, and it's still worthless to us. All it does is gives us access to Call Hazard from Dendrum Drives, which is worthless to us unless we got it, before Zealous. Then it would be fantastic, but it didn't happen. Okay, where's that water? That one water too. picking up some items, picking up a spirit or two. So as some of you might know, this game is unfinished, and this is where the area really starts to show it in terms of things we're going to take advantage of.
Thank you for following. You are now officially rolling.
We're gonna walk along this wall here,
Deep,
and
son.
we're not gonna get into an encounter. There are encounters in this area, but walking along the wall, for whatever reason, we just don't get into an encounter. So it's kind of convenient. We're gonna take advantage of that a couple times here and there. So we're gonna set our return point here and then do a clone. Alright, cool. We'll save here. 2 more saves that we're gonna do. And we'll be done. This is the death I really don't want to happen. Because walking to Bogus takes like 5 minutes. So hopefully this doesn't happen. And hopefully we don't die on the way to Mammon up until at least the save. That's a slow walk back too. We have plenty of time. World records in 6 minutes. We're not getting there. Saves and safety. Also, because I loaded a save. So there are encounters in this area, but we're walking along this left wall. Man, that front door really looks inviting. But like any good young boy, we know the front door is not the way to go. We're going to go in the back door. The front door is always locked. I would flip out if I wore record on the marathon, because that means I'm going for stupid stuff like not grinding defense. That would be crazy. Alright, first encounter. Actually, we're going to agility glitch it no matter what, because we can't die. Red Rose Knight will kill us right now. If he does, well, that's my fault. But 2 White Rose Knights doesn't matter anyway. That can't. It'll just do a lot of damage. So we should have almost 110. We have 107. About 6 more agility than we normally would. We usually get about 101. 95 is for those Red Rose Knights. They have 95 agility. If we don't do the defense grind, they will kill us. Guaranteed. If they just spawn close enough, we're dead. Nothing we can do about it. But we grind just enough defense or agility to not have that happen. Hooray. And now we're gonna walk to Guilty. I don't know, best music in the game, honestly, in my opinion. It's really nothing to talk about here because it's just very linear end of the game where they ran out of time to make the game, and that's it really. Pick up some items here and there for MP, pick up a spirit or 2, and then kick some dudes' butts. Alright. That's a shame. If only the boat music So, for those of you who don't know, there's a Game Boy version of this game. They made an enhanced demake of Quest 64. It's called Quest RPG Brian's Journey. It's on the Game Boy Color. It is very good. Highly suggest you play it. It probably would take you maybe an evening to play through. It's not hard. It's very forgiving. You can save everywhere. Grinding is kind of whatever. But there is boat music in that game, and the boat music is fantastic. It is so good. It is the best music between the 2 games by far. Alright, here's the Guiltmeister himself. We're going to try to stand in a particular spot. Something I haven't talked about. Oh, cool. So that's why we grind a defense. So something to note is in every boss room. Are you fucking kidding me? Wow. Okay. Well, I guess we're walking back here. In every boss room, there is That was amazing. That's what I was talking about. That's what you don't want to happen. That's the game just deciding that I'm gonna die, and there's nothing I can do about it. It's great. Sorry, I get a little annoyed when that happens. So yeah, Magic Berry can miss and you can just die. Welcome to Quest 64 speedruns. That's pretty common. God, what was I saying? Oh, there's kind of a grid lines in boss fights, and if we stand on the top of that diamond and keep Guilty in the middle, he's kind of in like a plus sign. And the way Avalanche works is it drops rocks more often along those lines. And if he is standing exactly on the center in the area where there's just two lines cross, more rocks tend to drop on him. So I like to try to set him up in a particular way like that, so that we hit him with more rocks. That'll add 5 minutes. We're still gonna be way underestimate unless that happens again. Like, putting us 5 minutes, we probably have like, oh, that's 5, and then like 3, and then like 9. We probably have 20-ish minutes. We might have finished sub 140 if I hadn't died to Guilty. Now we're gonna probably finish in the mid 140s, low 140. So yeah, whoever's after me, hope you're around. Of course, we don't get the agility glitch. Side effect of saving is it actually resets your previous coordinates of an encounter to 0, 0. And since these are close to 0, 0, we would not have gotten any of that agility. Yes, that is quite fast. The reason my estimate is 2 hours is because I could just get absolutely dad-dicked this entire run. Die to every boss a couple of times. I could die to Guilty like another 2 or 3 times if I'm just that unlucky. It can happen. There's nothing I can do about it. Alright, I'm just gonna cast heal and wait and wait and wait because I want the RNG to change. I don't want to get the same RNG seed that I had there. And if you save the RNG seed, it actually saves as well. So if we take all the same amount of time to get to the same spot and stuff, the same thing will happen. We'll be on that same RNG seed where Magic Barrier missed the first turn. So I'm gonna cast a spell or two, wait a second, hit A couple times, make the timer wait. I'm gonna go next time I get into an encounter. I'm gonna cast like Soul Surfer 2 or something. I'm gonna try to change the RNG a little bit. I don't want that to happen again. Granted, we didn't have the first guys attack us, so the RNG should be a bit different anyhow. Yeah, for those of you wondering, world record is a 122, but that's without defense grind. World record with defense grind is a 128, I believe. Yeah, 128. So we could theoretically have gotten around that, but that would have required no resets and all that fun stuff. And the 122 run isn't good, it's just that it's the run that didn't die to an enemy at the end of the game. My sum of best is a 109, 108 at this point. So there's a lot of time to save, but at this point it's basically just the game not killing you, which is unfortunate. I had a run that was on into Bogus. I was 2 minutes ahead of my PB, so it was on a 120 pace. And then I lost some time on Bogus, and then I died to a Pinhead, which is just... That's a death sentence on a run. Pinhead, we usually have about 100 and change HP, 130 or something. Pinhead easily does 170 or 80 at that point. Hey, Gamma, how's it going, my dude? Gamma Chew is another dude who runs this game. He does glitchless any percent. If you want to see glitchless resets, go watch him. Thank you for the luck. We already died to guilty once, so hopefully, that won't happen again. Cool, we didn't start with a magic barrier miss. That's beautiful. 1, 2, alright. Three. Okay. Okay, 3. So the fight I had the other day, right now, we would be at 12 hits. Which is a very, very good fight. Instead, we're at 3. 4, 5. Nice. Alright, cool. We got the lucky magic barrier. Lasting an extra turn. 6, 7, 8. Really game. Nine. It really is. Ten, 11. Wow, thanks. Are you serious? Alright, well this is just fantastic. Twelve, 13. Fourteen, 15, 16, 17. $18. Really got those misses. We're gonna do this. Alright, he should be dead. He had 1 hit. He had less than 100 HP. Alright, that was not a good fight, good god. But we made it. We did it. Guilty only found us guilty once. He tried again, but nah. Not that time. Oh boy. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. Pick up some items and then go fight Bogus, the king who's being used by Mammon, the big actual bad guy, to have us gather these jewels, which we've actually only gathered 3, and the Eltail book. And we're gonna die and give it to him so he can take over the world, but that's not gonna happen because we're all powerful and, stuff. Plot armor, the huge. Let's So remember when I talked about the story at the beginning of the game? Well, we're gonna pick that back up right about now. Seriously, we're gonna pick that back up. Just a moment. I'm gonna grab some stuff, save, and we'll talk about where we are story-wise. So the all-powerful L-Tail book was stolen at the very beginning of the game from the crypts of the Melroad Monastery, and our dad went to go get it back. That was a month ago. Now it's been about 3 days since we left, and we've caught up to our dad in 3 days, and what took him a month to get here. We're gonna catch up to our dad in the next room, and Dad is no longer going to be relevant to the story because we're going to leave him to die. We're not going to leave him to die, but he's suffering, and we're not going to even do anything about it. We're not even going to talk to him, quite frankly. We're just going to ignore him and move on. So if you have FFZ, and I don't know if it's in here. I'm sure everyone has FFZ, but hi, Dad, bye, Dad, but that doesn't exist. First, we can clip into this chest because, chest 64. Also, that's Dad. Hey, Dad. Bye, Dad. Sucks to suck, nerd. Just leave him there. Just leave him there. Alright. Now, next room is Bogey Dogie. Or the Bogmeister. Bogus. He sucks. I think he has a slightly bigger hitbox than Nepti, or he has the same size hitbox. He's a pretty garbage fight. So we're gonna try to take him on real quick here. Same idea. Avalanche, magic barrier, avalanche, magic barrier. Two. Are you serious, game? So mind you, these magic barrier misses in an any percent run would mean the death of a run. Three. Ooh. Four. Five. Six. Are you... Are you serious, game? Are you fucking kidding me? Confusion lasted exactly 2 turns, and I needed to last 1 more turn, and it didn't. Alright, so we're dead, and we're gonna have to go reset. Game can eat my ass, dude. So this is why we save, and why the estimate is 2 hours. Right there. Yeah, the last marathon was perfect run. This is Garbo run. Sorry, guys. That's the way it goes, though, unfortunately. With the defense, though, we can at least somewhat kind of recover, but, like... Yeah. Actually, I'm not going to be a chest this time, but I am going to grab this item. Extra HP item is going to be useful to have. But again, hi, Dad, bye, Dad. So we have 3 healing items, so we can confusion a couple times. We're going to have to, just due to the amount of MP items we have. we're gonna have to confusion instead of use an MP item. All right, let's try that again. See, not as bad of a walk. That was a lot quicker than the guilty walk. Cool. RNG is definitely different. He didn't walk that time. Oh, we got lucky. He didn't walk at all. So we can actually maybe set up one for him to be in a nice spot, but it doesn't seem like that's the case. Three, no, two. We'll use that healing item. Please, I need him to be hit by this. Three. Are you fucking kidding me, game? Four, five. Essentially six. Alright, series. Alright, 7. Oh my goodness. I may just kill myself. I did, thank God. Eight. 9. One more hit, or he's dead. Alright, one more hit and then he should be dead. I just don't want Magic Barrier to miss. Alright, he should be dead. He's dead. Cool, we did it. It only took freaking forever. That was a terrible fight, goodness. Ugh, sorry guys. Alright. We did it! We're gonna make it to Mammon. Hooray! Jesus, that was terrible. How many encounters are we gonna get in Mammon's World? Take your pick. Ooh, we have 159. We could die to a pinhead. They have to roll high. Gamma, shut up. So, if we get perfect RNG and a good fight with Mammon, we'll probably finish in about 8 minutes. 8-9 minutes. Oh, I have to talk to her. Oops. She gives us an item that we need. She gives us the L-Tail book. All right, game's over. We got the L-Tail book. We're done. Don't need to do anything else. Three, two. That's mean. Hopefully we're going for 0 encounters, because that's what I want to hear. There are technically encounters in this room, but if you walk this path over here, walk along the wall, you don't get into any of those encounters. Remember this next room because we're going to see it again, but slightly different colored. This one's the dark one. The next one's going to be a bit brighter. Just a bit. We're like 90% safe. Pinhead would have to roll really high on all 3 fireballs, which isn't outside the realm of possibilities. But God, please don't happen. The walk to Mammon is like a 6-minute walk, 6 to 7 minute walk. If we had to walk from Leo, that's an additional 2 minutes, so it's like a 9-minute walk. But if we get to the save point before Mammon, we're fine. So it's more like a 5-minute walk to the save point, which is where we need to get. Once we're at the save point, we're good. Doesn't matter if we die to a pinhead after that. Be a quick reset, as opposed to having to do all this long walk again. Bum, bum, bum. Go in the door, go out the door. Hooray! Alright, first room I can really get an encounter in. Hopefully we will see a Spriggan, not you. Alright, so actually the nature of where this encounter is, he shouldn't kill us. He should miss. Yeah. So normally they get up right in your face and they cast Fireball from about 2 inches from your skull, and you can't dodge any of them. But that spot, because of them getting stuck on the wall, they cast it from kind of really below you and in a weird spot, so it tends to miss. Judgments are nice. We're faster than them. Spriggans are nice because they're big buff dudes that are super duper wimpy. Pale Rider's okay because they definitely won't kill us. Spriggan, or no, not Spriggan. Pinheads are the sketchy ones. So 3 encounters. We're at. Let's just stop there and make Gamma right. Yeah, it is creepy. The music and like the emptiness of it actually has a nice creepy vibe, especially because it's his prison. We usually get an encounter there. It's a surprise for me. Right. There are encounters in this room, but we're going to try to walk a particular path so they don't happen. But I am incredibly unlucky. You can get an encounter even though you're walking along the wall right here, and I always get it. I'm not going to try to get out of the encounter immediately because these guys aren't going to, even if he hits me with the spell, it's going to do minimal damage. They're pretty weak. Pinhead is the only one that has an ability that will do a lot of damage. So that's 4 encounters. Looks like nobody's right. We'll revisit some areas you see. Unicorns, the Pale Riders are not a threat just because we did a defense grind and an HP grind. Pale Rider in a normal any percent run. Hey, it's this room again, but brighter. In any percent normal, Pale Riders are. They're like, you toe the line of being able to get killed by them or not, depending on how many hits you take throughout the run. It's. The assumption is they're going to kill you, but you can sometimes survive with like 1 or 2 HP. Pinheads are the ones that are like, in an any percent run with no defense grind, is guaranteed death. You will die. You will be sad. You will reset. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. All right, like 1 or 2 more rooms, and then we're gonna be, I think, 1 more room and we're at Epona. So, or actually, I think it's quite literally this room is Epona. So we're good on not having to do a long walk again. Thank God. But we really should be good. It should be 4 encounters and no more, but it is me after all. So we could totally get 1 more encounter. Nope. All right, no encounter there. And the last spot we can get an encounter right here Didn't get it. Alright, cool. 4 encounters, nobody's right, I win. Haha. Mammon is gigantic. His hitbox is just huge. It's really, really hard to hit, or to hit. It's really hard to miss him. So time is going to come up as soon as he explodes. Good chance he won't reset, so whoever's after me, I hope you're ready. What is after me? Speaking of, looks like we have Ninja 5-0 from Just Defend. Ooh, Just Defend, and then Castlevania Rondo, Blood. Ooh, those are going to be some good runs. I unfortunately will be passing the fuck out after this. Here's Mammon, he looks like the Tick. And he's huge. So I'm gonna listen to the hits though, because you can only see 4 of the hits before it goes off screen. Of course, they have to actually hit. I hit him once. I think we're at 5. Ooh, I think that was enough. That was 5 or 6, so we're either at 10 or 11. We're gonna assume 10. Uh, 13. He'll be blowing up shortly. 16. He could blow up in the next hit or one after that. $20 at least. 21. Should be dead. I'm gonna go for it. He should die on this hit. He's dead. In time. Yeah, Mammon's a pushover.
Oh.
That was not a pretty run. But you get to see the RNG that is this game. So 147.32. It's not bad, all things considered. So, fun fact with his, you can dodge 2 of his attacks. The Spirit Bomb you can't dodge. The other 2 you can. Sorry, go ahead.
I just said nice run.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Very interesting run. RPG. Fast is remarkable.
Yeah, when I first started running it, the record was Kurt Q's 222, I believe, or something to that effect. Now it's 122. I think it's a 224
Nice.
rather. But yeah, glitches are make this thing a joke. Yeah, I brought the marathon back onto where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, we were a little bit off. But whatever.
Alright, well, I'm gonna pass the fuck out.
Alright,
So,
I'm out.
thank
Good
you,
night, guys.
BingChang.
Absolutely.
Night.
You too, guys. And good luck to the rest of the runners. And thank you for having me here.